let me just check quickly that this is all working out. Welcome to the final episode of our actual play of the Gamemaster Guild adventure of Heroes of Baldur's Gate. I'm very sorry, I'm still not quite here, as in as in we've been traveling a lot, and I've mentioned it in the introductions to the videos that have been running here while we were away. I think there was a mix-up with when and how which episode was actually broadcast, but it's on the YouTube channel of Dungeons and Dragons, so there are the full 6 episodes that basically have run or should have run, and this one, the 7th, is the very last one. But I will do a quick recap and bring us back into what's happening and in the world and out of the world and what's going to happen today. So, Heroes of Baldur's Gate is the Gamemaster Guild adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and it's by James Olin, among other people, who was the executive producer on the Baldur's Gate games and designer. And his adventure is set, the module is set in between the first and the second of the PC games, so it's kind of a revisiting of what happened in the first game and a little bit of foreshadowing for the second one, but mostly it's like it's an interludium where we look at what the characters that you could pick up as heroes to accompany your hero, what happened to them, what were they doing, and how did life treat them. And yeah, so we did basically a quick run of this adventure module in this actual play. So as usual, when you play for an audience, you do it a little bit more concise, everything, and you try to hit the highlights and the best points and to show what are the interesting bits of the adventure. But of course, the whole module is much more. There's a lot more fluff and a lot more things that you can explore. So don't think that we've shown all that is in this book. That's probably par for the course for every actual play, but I still like to say what we've been done is the concise version. So what has happened? Our little group. Hello everyone! Our little group of adventurers is made up of original characters and of Zan initially, who is one of the characters from the Baldur's Gate PC games, a maudlin elf from a very interesting order, the Grey Cloaks, who is basically there to make sure that no other weird organizations find their way into Baldur's Gate. And they have realized that something is going on after everything that happened in the first of the PC games. There's another institution, another shady institution that is trying to get a full hold into what's going on in Baldur's Gate, and they pretty quickly find out it's the Zentarum. But it's not only something inside the city that's happening, it's also a lot as outside the city. And so we've had an introduction that was outside the city, where they realized that there was something going on in the Cloakwood forest south of Baldur's Gate, that the nature there was, well, basically ramping up to storming the city and not very happy about what's going on. And then we had a longer part inside the city where they found, one, it's the Zentarum that are stirring up everything, and 2, where they were hiding and who was behind it. And lo and behold, it were characters from the Baldur's Gate games. So, and that's where the trend started, that Zan, and then we were joined by the character of Khalid, played by Nico, who is also the producer of this whole thing, that they knew everyone who was kind of pulling the strings in this story. And from there on, where the halfling Montoron and the dwarf Kagan were among the baddies, they found leads that led them into the Cloakwood forest, where they found the nest of Viconia, a drow priestess, a drow paladin, and basically burned it down. And that was outside outside of the city baddie number 1. And from there on, they found where a lot of shadow druids were hiding out. We're under the leadership of a druid called Baldur, another character from the games. And the last time we saw our heroes, they had found out that basically the one person masterminding this, or at least at the center of all of this, was Zar, necromancer, also one of the characters from the Baldur's Gate games. And they found the mines that he was hiding in and entered them. And there was something very weird going on. People acting like they were a happy family, but certainly not normal people. And we are going to join them now as they try to find their way through this hideout of Zar and hopefully find Zar himself. So the session today is going to be shorter than the other sessions, and one of the reasons for that was that this is still has been recorded on a day where we recorded, I think, around 10 hours of Dungeons & Dragons, because it was also the day we recorded the final episodes of a German actual play session that had been running for months and months at the time. So we didn't take time to do a lot of talking about what's happened, as I usually like to do after games that day. And that's what we're going to do today after the session is over, that I'm going to play for you in a minute. Because all the players are going to be with me in chat, of course, right now, and then later on we are just going to talk a little bit about what it was like and what they liked about it and what they maybe didn't like. I don't know, we're going to see. And yeah, about this adventure and German role-playing in general. So we're back to the usual schedule and the usual planning of this whole thing. That's going to have a live intro. That's me right now. I'm the live intro. And now we're going to watch the pre-recorded session. And while we're going to be commenting in chat, the players and me. And then we're going to have a live outro with the players this time. Not just me, not just this person talking to you, the person with a weird name, Mháire. Wow. No, wait, I need to point this way, I think. Mháire Stritter. But all the people who've been in front of the camera, or at least the people who have been in front of the camera all the time. Nico is the producer and also one of the players for quite some time. He's just going to be silently in the chat and not in front of the camera now again. Because he likes to be the silent person behind the camera. Okay, so this is the last session. I still have to say a lot of thank yous. We are going to hear them again after the session too. And the thank yous go out to everyone at Cannings Worlds who produced this module for the Dungeon Masters Guild. And take a look at that book. The production value is amazing. It's not only a good adventure, it's well written. It's also the artwork that they have is just beautiful. And thank you to everyone at Beamdog who hold the rights right now to the PC games for Baldur's Gate and who allowed us to use their assets, so we could use the music and a lot of buttons and stuff you're going to see. And of course, thanks to everyone at Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast who made this possible and who trusted us to produce this thing, although there was a lot of, are we going to do it now? Are we going to do it later? And happy coincidences that led to this actually happening. Thank you to Scott Buckley, who has a beautiful remix of the Baldur's Gate theme that you're going to hear in a moment. And thank you, of course, to my players and to Nico, producer and player. Yeah, and thank you to our chat moderators who are going to bear with me and my rambling right now, and with everyone in chat in a moment. So I'm going to start this now, and we're going to be writing in chat, and then we're going to talk for, I think, almost half an hour. Yes. And yeah, Nico claims to be hiding somewhere here in the room. I'm going to find out while we'll be watching the session. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. See you in a bit. this is going to be the final session of our actual play of Heroes of Baldur's Gate.
Spoilers.
The abbreviated version. We, as in all the other parts, we leave out some small things and bits, and so this is going to be the last dungeon you are moving through. That you can know. And let's just jump into it. Last time someone opened a box and there was a jester in there, tingling, with bells on his head and clad in motley and basically screaming, "Surprise!" and then going for your eyes.
I mean, technically I don't need to cast shield until you attack me, but in that instance, I would say I would just cast shield.
It's a zombie jester.
Yeah, as he moves up and attacks, you have a brief moment where you can see it flickering, and there's dead flesh and empty eye sockets beneath the rosy painted jester face. Yes, it seems like someone played dress up with their undead. And as you open the one box, the other one springs open at the same time, and there's another jester lurching out, claws reaching for you. This is where we go into initiative order, just really quick.
Definitely in the right place, so.
Keep doing my d20.
Oh,
Oh dear.
6,
I am too surprised.
8.
Okay,
8.
23 with a natural 20.
Nice.
oh,
6.
okay, someone
7.
slower than the zombies.
7.
The ghouls. 7.
Oh,
6,
ghouls.
7,
Oh, cool.
8. All three of us. My
6, 7, 8, 23. That's exactly how you count.
Well, Mr. 23,
Yes.
what do you want to do?
That D20.
I
is
want
really
to
swingy.
have Ghoul Jester be acquainted with Moonblade. Blade.
Go ahead.
With a 17.
That's a hit.
That's good. Why does it not? Whatever. And that is 9 damage.
9 damage. You take off bits of the jester head and also bits of the skull beneath. And there's a foul, terrible smell in the air suddenly.
Oh yeah,
Well-
perfect. So the shield is already gone. It's all good.
Khalid.
Me? Already?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Which one do you
Everyone
want?
else is even slower.
Okay. I'm surprised by
Yeah.
being so fast and do nothing.
What do I do now? Okay, we could skip
No, I
you.
attack the same just a zombie guy as
The
Sam
jester
does.
zombie guy.
Just a zombie.
Save me.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's 22
22, that's a hit, easily.
and 5.
Getting slightly better with
Yeah.
the damage every time.
You step somewhere between the rib cage and then draw big your scimitar with
Can I
a
just shove him back
weird
into
slurping sound.
the box and close the little bit again? Yeah.
To be honest, that was kind of Alan's plan.
Make a dexterity check.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You're basically an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. So it's 19.
19. Well, you step up, grab the lid, slap it down.
Okay, is there a lock or something, or can I jam it somehow?
There is a latch that wasn't, but there's no lock. It wasn't
Okay.
locked or shut in any way, kept shut in any way before.
So
And
I-
you can feel something.
Yeah, okay, I sit on it.
Hey, nice.
It stays shut. Well, it's now the ghoul's turn. One of them tries to shove you off the box that you're sitting on, and the other one tries to step out of its box. Does he? He actually stumbles, picks himself up, and then yes, that's all he does.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
right.
nice.
Wow.
Good for him.
Standing in front of Alan, jingle, jingle.
Oh, that's horrifying.
You really don't like clowns, jesters.
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 They're jesters.
It's Gwyn's turn.
Yes.
Gwyn, please smite this one.
I will smite the undead even if you do not ask me to do it.
Wow. That's a battle cry.
I'm working on it.
I will
23.
smite the undead for 3. Yes, that's a hit.
I smite for 9 slashing damage. Ew, they smell.
Oh yes, they do smell really bad. Both rotten corpse smell and weird mothball smell from the jester costumes.
Lovely.
What sick
Alan.
person does this?
Good question.
Take a wild guess.
Behind you, you can hear, "Yes, dear, it's all very sad. You will find the scroll down in the Underdark soon."
Scroll in the Underdark?
Are these his parents? Is he reenacting a childhood scene, or is he?
Or are these just random people playing his parents?
This.
Or are these actually the people he keeps
Actually, no.
talking to in his head?
I am going to.
Are we in his head?
I'm going to vicious mockery the ghoul.
You're going to mock the ghoul.
I'm going to mock the ghoul. I'm just going to go. Did your mother choose that costume for you? You idiot.
You idiot.
It's a
Yeah,
bit.
you tell him.
It's a bit off.
Wow. Do I need to save against that?
Actually, I'm not quite sure whether ghouls would be intelligent enough to fall for vicious mockery, but I like them.
Okay. You like the
Dig,
insult?
yes.
I mean, he's dressed as a jester, you know. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to insult anything.
Go ahead.
You need to-
I
yeah, you
need to
need
make
to
a
make
whiz. Well, they're so wise. 13.
No, that's not enough anymore because I leveled up.
Woo!
I need a 14. 3 psychic damage, please, and disadvantage on their next attack roll.
Sick burn.
Yeah, right.
Zan.
I'll smite the undead in my own way.
Zan. Khalid came up with a unique way to deal with this problem.
Yeah, that works until you need to go somewhere else, but okay.
He seems like he feels
Right at home,
right at home.
that's fine. So I will then slash the other zombie with the other ghoulish jester type guy with 15. 15?
It's a hit.
That's a hit. That's good. For a lot of damage. 13.
Oh,
Yes. The moonblade sings and you cut him in half.
Nice.
He slips apart into 2 pieces.
oh.
Tingle, tingle, tingle,
The last jingle.
and goes down.
So do you actually want to sit there, Khalid, and talk to these nice people?
You just demonstrated that these jester cursed are not that tough. So
Yeah.
Stab the box!
Yeah, just.
yeah, right. I that's through the wood.
Stepped out. Yes. It's very hard to miss a jester in a box.
Well, I guess it's hard to get my sword out of my scimitar out of the box again after I
How do you
impaled the head of the zombie and then it's stuck between the wooden panels and
Yes.
the head.
just stupid simulationist question? How do you stab with a scimitar?
I don't give a.
Damn.
Okay. I mean, I could stab with it,
Can
whatever.
borrow my sword.
Look, we have enough swords between us to stab the ghoul
fine.
in the box. I have my rapier, I have a dagger.
I have a long sword.
The box is full of
Although
box.
a scimitar might be meant for slashing, it does have a tip.
It does have a
That is true, but it being carved.
Yes,
right,
fine.
okay.
I mean, against wood?
Yeah.
Yep, no, not talking about this.
Not talking about this. What's in the next room? I've had enough of this room. What's in here?
Oh, you didn't check this one for traps.
No.
Oh.
It's not trapped, though.
Oh, that's good.
But now you know.
But if you actually walk up to there, you drop into a hole.
Oh,
Maybe you want to stop at the
Okay.
door until I've set up the room.
right. Apologies.
Just an idea.
Anything's better than a room with a jester.
Take this room with a big hole, for instance.
No, she just had an optimal opportunity, like the best opportunity to let you walk straight into a trap. And
Yeah, I
she's
know.
just such a nice
Can you
DM.
put the door
Yes.
into that doorway? Here's a
like-
table, and there's a few scrolls, written scrolls on there, a few books, and there's also a book stand.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, it's just kind of.
Oh, we'll have to get it out again afterwards. So.
Exactly.
Alright.
Can you put the necromantic nice book over there next to
that
the
the title?
table? The nice necromantic
The
book.
nice
And
book
this
of
is the hole.
necromancy.
This
that's
is the
the
hole.
This is
alright.
the hole.
And this is where here?
In the corner.
In that corner.
In that corner.
room was
Yeah, you need.
So then you need to move the nice necromantic book up.
Nice.
Out again.
Yes, you
Zars
Zars
Book of Nice
Nice Necromancy.
Nice Book of Necromancy. That's the title. It has
Exactly.
nice little cursive title font.
Yes. And out of the hole in the ground, just now, climbs Jahira.
Oh!
Oh,
Okay.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
is she still alive?
How do you want to check?
Good question. I retract my statement.
Hey, isn't that your wife?
Oh, really?
Behind her, you can.
Is
you
it
can.
her?
Yes. This looks like Jahira.
Jahira?
And behind her, there's a few dwarfs who are trying to climb up behind her, and she stands at the lip.
I climbed down the box and I just stabbed a ghoul through the wooden box with my scimitar, and now I'm
What are
trying
you doing
to get it
here
out.
in the name
It's,
of the Harpers? We are on a very important mission.
Well, so are we. I mean, I'm
just tried to explain to her. I just stabbed a ghoul.
Did they dig that hole? Did they basically dig the hole into this room with the dwarves?
Are you asking them?
Not right now, no.
Not just.
It seems like it's been around for some time.
Okay.
Someone put stones around it and stabilized it.
It didn't just mole up.
It does. No. They did not.
Shame.
Oh well.
Oh well.
So you know about the places of power
I'll let
in
them
your
talk to her.
forest?
You want me
Sorry.
to talk to my wife?
You all know each other. I'm staying out of this.
That's a good point, yes.
Everything is in hand. She puts a scroll in her belt.
Put my sword away.
Dirty, and there are dark stains on the material of the scroll.
Just looking at
Just-
me.
She has a scroll in her hand and she now
Yeah.
puts it away in her belt, and it's moldy and dirty and wet, and there's dark stains on it.
Is that normal or?
Usually not.
Can I roll an insight check?
She also sounds and behaves slightly weird. That she shows no sign of affection towards you is
Oh, okay.
maybe
Normal.
not unusual.
Yeah.
Can I roll an
She
insight check to
seems
see,
very
if,
cold and distant.
see if
Yes.
she even recognizes him?
I mean, I guess I'm.
5.
Right.
I have no reason to doubt it's her. She's cold as usual. But I think I'm running, as you already indicated with my nature.
Yes.
I'm running towards her and to, I don't know, hug her or at least
You hug her.
I don't know. That relationship is complicated. Do we give us a handshake? Or...
I think
I have the perfect opportunity to use a spell that ends with the creatures hostile towards you afterwards, because Jahira is already hostile towards me afterwards.
Okay, can we go over who wants to do what? You want
I
to
want
hug your
to
wife,
hug-
I want to cast Friends on Jahira.
and you want.
I just wanted to poke Zan and just go, didn't the woman in there say something about a scroll? But that's all I do. Just because they look like they're coming from,
The Underdark, yes?
you know, and they have a scroll.
You hug your wife.
Yeah, I tried.
She lets it happen, and
Does she react in any way?
no, and she's cold in your arms.
Are you all right, Jahira?
We are on a very important mission for the Harpers. Please stand aside.
Okay, stop hugging her and stand aside.
I think perhaps this is something similar to what we saw back in the other room.
No affection in front of strangers. Okay, I get it.
Oh,
Please, I don't think this is Jahira. Or if it
Stand
is,
aside.
we're just gonna go this way. We'll be out of your way in a minute.
What about the scroll?
What scroll?
She also moves towards the door, the same door you were moving towards.
Okay.
So we're not standing in our way.
So
Yes.
basically jostling.
Can I now try to cast a spell on
Yes, you can.
the missus?
Oh dear.
This will go terribly, but whatever. This is also a very nice spell because it forces you to apply a small amount of makeup to yourself before you cast it. So I will want to grab my, like, just reach into my component pouch and suddenly have this nice little
Lipstick?
eyelinery type thing going on.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
And
D magic.
it doesn't do a whole lot. But it now makes it so that for the duration of up to 1 minute, I have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. First of all, does the spell work? So is the creature not hostile towards me now?
at the moment, no.
Okay, so the spell technically works.
And it is a creature. It's not an illusion.
And it's a creature.
It is a creature.
Okay. So now I have advantage on charisma checks, which is things like persuasion or intimidation. So I'm... Okay. So Zan is then coming up to Jaheira, and he kind of wants to nudge her on the side. Be like, hey, long time no see.
Stand aside.
What are you up to these days?
I will have to bring the scroll to someone very important.
Oh, who might that be? I'm very interested in magical stuff, as you know. We have talked about
It is a
this.
secret of the Harpers.
But surely the Grey Cloaks may know.
It is a secret of the Harpers.
Come on. We've been traveling together for what, years now?
I will have to bring the scroll to my master.
Can I at least join? Ask him whether it's okay?
Make an insight check.
I make an insight check.
Are there any other persons or creatures coming out of
There's
the
no
hole?
dwarf slowly coming out of the hole.
9.
9.
Nine.
Well, this is a very easy check, so yeah. This is not A, it's not Jaheira. B, it's probably not even elf. This is something different, also cloaked in some illusion.
Ah, also cloaked in some illusion. So I am very sure it's not Jaheira.
Pretty sure.
Why?
I'm at least, let's say, is 80% sure?
80% yes.
I'm going to stab her with my moonblade.
Oh, okay.
80% sure is apparently enough.
Yes.
Just to stab friends. Go ahead.
Stab a friend.
It is surprised.
Just like, why'd you stab me? Oh, you know, I was 80% sure.
I'm sorry. Just in advance, I'm
In
sorry.
the world where you can revive people for what, 3,000 gold pieces
And I
Can you
am
put the dwarf in
and a
the...
diamond. Or a
extremely unsure. I'm still...
You have advantage because she's surprised.
Dwarf in the hole.
I do have advantage because you're surprised?
Yes.
Okay, so the natural
'Cause you
one is
just
not as
stabbed
bad. 15.
That's a hit.
Okay. And that is 10 damage.
10 damage.
No! I attack Zan.
Obviously.
Are you surprised?
No. I very much expected this to happen.
Okay.
So then why didn't you warn me?
Shall we roll initiative?
Can we do this initiatively?
Initiatively.
So you have a chance to say something?
I go for Khalid attacks, and then we go
Yeah.
into initiative
Okay,
order.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think. I don't know. Do we have your mage armor? And
Yes. So how much is it?
It's 20. No, it's yes 20.
20.
And not 20 damage. It's I rolled with 20.
So I can shield. Okay. Fair. I do not have shield for the final fight, but whatever. I have one, but whatever.
What's happening? Why are you all attacking each other?
I'm
What's wrong
just
with you?
throwing up my shield.
You
Okay, so my scimitar clanks against your.
Magical shield.
magical shield, and you can see fluids running down the moonblade, sizzling in the blue flames coming from the magical metal, and it's a foul-smelling, bile-ish substance. It's not blood; it's something else.
Okay. I raise up the moonblade with the stuff bubbling off of it. Not Jaheira. That's all I say.
Oh, she's very sick. How does she react?
Ow.
How intelligent is
With a
Khalid?
bleak
Not
stare,
very.
and then the illusion slowly recedes and leaves behind the leering face of something that's been dead for quite some time.
He's of average intelligence.
More intelligent? No, less intelligent than me.
Good. So, initiative for...
I mean, more intelligent than me, but less intelligent than Zan.
Oh, initiative that isn't garbage for once.
Oh, wow.
It's not 6, 7, and 8 again.
No.
14. Sorry.
19 for Khalid. Wow.
23 again.
I can just slot you in
22.
it.
Sorry, it's 22.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
I was about to
man.
just give you a slot above 20, basically.
Okay.
14.
14. And Alan?
17.
Nice.
Well then.
So, Zan, after going, not Jaheira, what are you doing to not Jaheira?
Bringing the blade down on not Jaheira again. Or, actually, she's still... Does she have the scroll in hand?
Yes. She pulled it from her belt to show you. I have an important thing to give to my master.
Okay. Can I try to grab it out of her hand without resorting to a tug of war? Because this I am going to lose.
Sleight of hand.
Okay. So then I will do that with a 16.
Yes, you actually can grab it out of her hand. Then you have the scroll.
I now have the scroll. That's good. I now don't have the time to look at it. That was an action probably, correct?
Yes,
So if I now move away, she will hit me in the face.
yes. In your made up, pretty
Beautiful
So
makeup.
as a
elf
bonus
face.
action, I will start humming again. And start my
Moon
blade
humming.
singing.
blade singing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to move this door so we can see what's going on.
And then I'm so going to regret this, whatever. With my move action, I want to throw the scroll towards Gwyn and tell her to catch.
Ah! You know, I'm really bad at dexterity.
Because there's a lot of bad guys around me, and the scroll is probably important.
Make a dexterity roll.
Same
sleight of
roll
hand.
or roll.
Sleight of hand.
Same. 10.
Goes past you.
What's going on? Everyone's attacking each other. I've drawn my sword, so I have no hand.
and lands
free.
on the upper half of the undead dead jester.
Oh god.
Tingle.
Someone grab that, that's important. And that's my I can't stretch my turn too far, so.
Okay. Khalid is probably still a bit stunned, and we're going to put him the last spot. So, Alan, what do you want to do?
I would like to disengage, scuttle over to where the scroll is, and have a look.
It starts off as a letter to someone named Sarevok,
Saravok.
and written by someone of name. It's slightly splotched Davon, Divon, something like that.
Okay.
And it starts off with the ritual you are looking for to unlock the secrets in your blood. And then delves deep into magical lingo that would need an Arcana check.
Right. Okay. Can I choose to make? I've got the scroll now, so I'll just probably stuff it in my my clothes somewhere. Can I see the dwarf?
The wall drops away.
The wall falls
You
down.
can see the dwarf, and you can see more dwarves moving below him in the hall.
Okay. What do they look like they're doing? Okay.
Throw a grenade in there. Sorry.
Yes, I'll throw one of my bard grenades in there. Those things that I have.
You don't have those?
No.
Every good bard has
They
them.
give off a minor key.
What?
Throw them. Dum-dum.
Natural or harmonic minor?
Does he have a weapon? Does he have like an axe? Or is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to heat metal on the axe, please.
Go ahead.
Oh, heat metal.
I think it just happens.
It happens, and he has to make a Constitution saving throw. Right?
Yeah. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell.
Oh, 2d8. Then roll.
I will roll. That's another d8. Thank you. So that's 11 fire damage.
He bursts into flames, goes and starts to sink back down into the hole, knocking off other dwarves as he goes.
Yes, that's right.
That's surprisingly very effective spell against low-level
Oh, yeah.
creatures.
It's great, isn't it?
Cool.
I mean, we could throw the table down there.
It's not a bad idea. I would if it wasn't for these noodle arms.
I mean,
Well, speaking of people not having noodle arms, Gwyn, it's your turn.
I have the opposite.
Good.
Right.
Then we're going to put Khalid at this point in the...
Okay, so what's happening?
Well,
How's my wife
the
feeling?
Let's
dwarf
pick up the
dropped
scroll.
back down the hole after
Yeah.
his axe ignited.
Yeah.
I snatched the scroll
Scroll?
from
Yeah.
Notchahira and threw it to Gwyn, which she of course didn't catch.
But Alan's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right. Well, Gwyn is acting first, and then we're going
yeah,
to Khalid.
exactly.
All right,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Then
We just
well,
bumped you
Thanks for the update.
down the track.
so you just through the scroll, and I guess I'm gonna move forward. Like little warning next time. And well, seeing as you suggested throwing the table down the hole, I'm going to do that.
There are a few scrolls and letters on the table.
Try not to hit me.
I'm gonna take the table, go shake everything if I can.
Make it, yeah.
How heavy is
Just
it?
with one hand, like turns it, shakes it,
Well,
throws it down the hole.
it's made of solid wood, so it is heavy,
heavy,
but you
yeah.
can move it. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. Here we go.
Wow,
Natural 1.
climax!
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no! Oh no!
What? Are you serious?
That is a 13.
Yeah, you duck as she almost hits you over the head with the table.
Well, I can
Okay.
actually pick it up.
Yes, you could pick it up and then you
And you're like, ah!
go to the side and drop it again
Oh, God.
near the hole, but not in the hole.
Okay, so,
So it's
somewhere
on,
like here.
basically on the lip.
Okay.
Okay.
So one of those. I lift it enthusiastically and then just
And then you pitch over to the side.
Okay.
Exactly.
I
Careful next time.
sorry. I'm gonna scramble on the other side here, but
The letters and scroll crunch underneath your feet.
yeah. I
mean,
mean,
Getting hit down a hole by a table is
there's
surprisingly
a
how I
zombie
envisioned
there,
it.
so I guess I'm more interested in the zombie. But as a bonus action, seeing as I used my action to do the table, but I'm gonna scramble to my feet and then just go zombie, and then just raise a prayer to Helm to protect me and empower me with divine radiance, and I'm gonna cast divine favor on myself.
Oh. Let's see whether the divine favors you.
That just happens.
It just happens.
I mean, unless
It's
you know
nice.
something I don't. It's just, I'm empowered with Divine Radiance until the spell ends. My weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit.
It's
That's all.
concentration.
It's concentration, so if I take damage, then yeah. So I'm just kind of like, no.
Failed
Good.
the table.
Then it's Khalid's turn. Someone dropped the table and nearly
Next
on
to
your
you.
toes.
I am still totally confused.
You told me to put
Watching people throwing
in the hole.
scrolls, tossing dwarfs,
the table.
turning
Stabbing
tables, stabbing wives. So how's Jaheira reacting? Is she doing anything?
Her face melted away into a dead, skull with a bit of flesh on it, into something entirely else.
She's lost a bit of weight.
Trying to turn into a bear again?
Well, she's obviously trying to turn into a ghoul or some other undead creature, and it works. Or she might have been a ghoul all the time, and the illusion just
You never
dropped
knew.
away.
You will never know, but you could drop the table down the hole.
Khalid,
Why?
some help here.
Because there's still undead dwarves down there
Oh, okay.
trying to scramble up.
Yes.
I try to do that, yeah.
That's an athletics check.
Please roll better than me.
11.
That's not natural one. So.
Well, you just have to nudge it over into the hole by now because she...
Where
Candy does that without that.
where
happening.
Zan is standing.
Zan, make another dexterity saving throw.
I knew it. This is my end.
Yep.
Yep, this is my end. 8.
Yeah.
Well, he's up the table, and maybe it's just coincidence, but he
It's a dexterity saving throw, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Not an acrobatics.
I mean,
No,
just
dexterity
stabbed my
saving
wife,
throw.
yeah. So
yeah.
I'm not going to.
So you take 1 hit point of bludgeoning damage.
But I don't go down the hole.
No.
So I will just get knocked over the head, look down the hole, and be like, surprisingly, this is how I envisioned it, and then not fall, which will surprise me.
Oh. The round table goes down the round dish hole, and it just drops a few feet before it gets stuck like a cork.
Oh, perfect. That's actually better
Yeah.
Excellent.
Interesting.
than just
Well done.
picking off all the dwarfs
Honey.
on the walls.
I actually haven't planned that, but it fits really nicely.
Yeah, it fits nicely, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Table, hole, corked.
Excellent.
Now it's Jahira's turn, and she tries to get back at the scroll, lunges forward and claws at you with a 19.
that does not hit because I am humming my blade song.
That's so overpowered.
Yes. Mage armor and blade singing is extremely overpowered.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is.
Guess you'd have
She
to hit him
misses.
with more fireballs.
Probably.
Don't give her any ideas.
We're starting ever again with Zan, as always.
Yeah, more stabbing into not. I will go down the lid here. And will stab Nochahira more.
Not you.
Like, if I can, in the face area, so he sees that it's not actually Jahira, but we'll see. That is a 23 to hit.
That's a hit.
And that is 12 magical slashing damage.
You stab her in the face crumples inward, and then she crumples to the ground.
Okay.
Oh. I guess that was a waste of divine favor.
And of a blade song, but yeah.
Yes.
Are there any other undead?
Yes, down the hole.
There's the tail, but it's stuck for now.
Okay.
I say we make a quick move on. Perhaps there's more undead in the next room.
Yes.
You can go first.
I will,
Yes. Can we stay in initiative?
Okay.
So what happens to Jahira? She
She,
turns to an undead mass of.
yeah. Of
Limbs
limbs
Okay.
and ribs sticking out.
Okay, I'm standing there, pale, leaning against the wall. Don't know what happened.
Khalid, are you okay?
Yeah, I guess I'm fine. Yeah,
Hand on your shoulder.
just go on. You wanted to head to the next room?
Yes, I guess. I mean.
Yes, come on, we've got to get going.
We gotta keep going.
I'm not going to go first.
All
I'm
right.
actually watching
I go first.
Khalid, but
Oh.
someone else is going to go first.
I'll take his word for it and just carry on.
So you're just walking across and
No, I want to have a look
past
at
the book and
the
everything.
book and the scrolls and everything before we carry on. Maybe there's a hint of something in there.
The book is a diary, you think, or it's a mixture of something that actually sounds like a diary and then weird passages in between. And one of the last is send another group into the Underdark to look for the scroll. The mummy doesn't like to eat cabbage, have to order new things. Need to make daddy proud. He still believes in me.
Oh. I sort of leaf through the diary and I'm like, I think, Khalid, you were right about the parents thing. Also, the mummy doesn't like cabbage. Do you know? You said this guy was mad, right?
Yes.
Sounds
I don't
pretty
really
mad.
listen to you.
No, you're
I'm
just terrified. Okay.
I'm
totally
just,
absent.
I'm just talking in your direction.
I'm just going yes while moving past you.
Okay. I'm well. What's the last entry? Was that the thing about sending another group into the Underdark?
Yes, and need to send to Monty for more pork. Really bloody pork.
Ugh.
Feed all the children.
I think.
I assume you're like reading this aloud.
Yeah,
right?
I'm reading this.
That's the halfling fellow, isn't it?
Oh yes, he
The one that was so
wasn't
damn
it?
rude to
Montaron,
me.
Yes.
Yeah, Montaron, right.
Yes.
Zan, you might want to take a look at this and I hand you the scroll. It's got some arcane babble on it.
Yeah. Just one moment. I will put an awkward hand on your shoulder. Be like, it was not your wife. She's probably fine. Just take your time. And then I
Something-
turn around and take a scroll.
Okay, something bangs against the table from underneath, and it starts popping out bit by bit, inch by inch, coming up the hole.
Right, we need to go.
No. Yeah. Go. I got this.
You're sure
gonna-
about this?
Stay behind to protect the.
I draw my scimitar again, and I. How high is the table in the hole?
It's now 2 or 3 feet down.
Okay, I sit on the bench of the hole and try to put the table down with my feet.
Nice.
Okay, give me one last athletics check.
No. 10.
It holds for now, but it keeps pushing up, and you need to
Okay,
push down again on it.
I'm pretty sure I got this. Just hurry.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I can
Any
read
of
while I
the-
walk, so...
Any of the letters on the ground? Is there anything that looks important, or any
You
seals?
can
or
you can
anything?
you
Just
can
a
see
quick
one in a flowy scripture that says, "Zar, you have my eternal gratitude for your aid. I pray you find what you seek. Char's blessing, Viconia."
Oh, her. Oh well. Does it look like the letter had been? Oh no, that was Monteron's letter. Is there any letter that looks like a bird?
Yes. So you leave Khalid behind,
Yes.
guarding
I suppose.
the
Yeah.
hole.
Guarding the hole.
It leads you down a few stairs. And
While
then
we
into
walk, I actually want to read the scroll.
Make an Arcana check.
Thank you. Haha, natural 1.
What is read?
You know what? The words just kind of slip through your mind. This is obviously not enchantment, so
You have
it's
no
not
idea.
your
And
specialty.
it's actually one of the forbidden schools. Probably, so
Probably. You're
it's nothing
you're
I
not
can
sure
make sense
with
of.
the natural one.
It's nothing I can make sense of. I would just hand you back the scroll.
Oh,
It
okay.
just talks about a ritual. That's every. Or you glean from it.
Can I make an Arcana check and have a look at it?
You can make an Arcana check.
Right. Ooh, magic.
Natural 20!
Teach the Grey Cloak how magic actually works, please.
No, you see, Zan, you're holding us upside down. Look.
Oh my
This way around it makes much more sense, and it does. It is a ritual to awaken something called a Baal spawn.
Oh, what now?
Yeah, when he's... Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
A what now?
What's a Baal spawn?
Well, you know your pantheon, right?
I suppose. I don't know what a spawn of it is.
Exactly.
You think you
What
might
do you
hear
think?
a whimper from behind, from the room where you left Khalid. The mention of Baal spawn.
Oh no.
Yeah. We had a run-in with multiples, actually. Let's keep
Well,
going.
that's not good.
All right, then. Onwards.
carry on.
Lead the way.
Some of them are quite nice, though.
Has it been a minute? Be honest with me, DM.
Yes, it has been a minute.
Damn.
So the humming
Your
stops
divine favor.
Divine favor goes.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
permanently.
Good.
And the humming stops also.
It leads you into a bigger room. There's kind of a corridor
Oh, right,
in
okay.
between, so they're not actually joining up completely. Let's just pretend there's a bit in between. that you
Pretend?
passed.
In a role-playing game? What?
Yes, I know. Hard.
Woe is us.
You will deal.
We don't know how to do that.
Deal with it.
Do you need these walls?
No.
Then
Then I'm just going to put this one there, and we know that the rest is walls.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then we can see the characters.
I assume Paladin McPaladin face is going first.
That's right. That's my name. We got that right. Wait, I'm not married. Miss Paladin Face.
Or are you a Ms?
Or are you married to Helm?
Nah, I'm not that much of a zealot.
Okay. Fair.
It's the second time you've said that.
I'm not a cleric.
that's your catchphrase.
You're still a paladin.
That's my catchphrase.
Oh yeah, I'm not that
I'm
much
not
of a
that
zealot.
much of a zealot.
When you reach the end of the passage, you come into an actually nicely furnished room.
These nicely furnished rooms.
Yes. Excuse me for my limited vocabulary
nice.
to describe nicely
No,
furnished rooms.
it's more the fact that every single bad guy you've met in every single horrible hole
got
they've
a very
been,
nice-
you've got a very nice room.
No, Faldon didn't.
No, Faldon
She
lived in a
didn't
hut.
have
She didn't. fair.
furnishings at all. She had a wicker man.
Nice tree, though.
That's true.
Nice tree.
That is very
Anyway,
true.
Bring
Yes.
up the
what a
value.
nice room.
And imagine that those two mages they put in there actually look very much alike, basically like copies from each other. Of a pale young man with slightly weird facial tattoos, like going down from his eyes.
You mean...
And both look at you and start off with, you're very welcome to be here. Yes.
Wait. Just for clarification, are they exact copies of each
Yes.
other, or they're like,
Exact copies.
like magically exact copies?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the above.
Which one is it?
That's a good question.
I mean, you can just attack both of them.
The first thing I want to do, if I can, I'm basically just gonna go, it's him! Hunter's mark! I'm gonna Hunter's mark.
On which one?
Well, well, I'm thinking, if it's something like mirror image, then I can't tell who it is, but the magic should be able to tell, like, I cast Hunter's mark on Zar.
As you cast, it vacillates. There are two people here, actually.
Oh, there are actually
Or
two
two
people.
creatures, at least.
Okay. Can I make some kind of perception check or some kind of arcana to realize which is which, or is it impossible?
Well, if
Probably-
you don't have any supernatural senses going on there.
Well, actually,
Like divine senses or something?
I actually do.
What is the rest doing? As she is, which I don't.
Well, I will recognize him,
Yes,
right?
both look exactly like Zar.
Okay, then I will just pick this one and cast Hold Person on him.
Go ahead.
Are they undead?
He needs to make a
Wisdom saving throw.
and he doesn't make it. I guess. I guess.
13?
Yeah, he doesn't make it.
Okay.
And then
My God, it worked.
suddenly goes stiff and says, "No, this is a spell. I'm trying to get out of us under his control. I'm not him." And the other one says, "Neither am I."
For obvious reasons. But he is now paralyzed. Anyway, that's my action. That's...
He's the real one. He points at the one who's gun stiff like that.
Haha, and he's paralyzed, he can't point
He
back.
can't point. No, I'm actually one of the dukes.
Divine sense.
Divine sense.
Let's try this again.
Well, there are undead in this room.
Is either of them undead?
It does give you a yes or no, and
It tells me what type they are, but what type of undead. But
and it says they are undead, or do you
Sense
get
of-
an exact ping where?
it says you can sense the location of an undead within 60 feet. You can know the type, but not its identity.
Well, there's a ghoul here, and it's straight ahead.
So that
Not helping.
so the exact location, or just I sense the location. So it means I don't know which of them.
Okay, you make him. I'd say if you give me a wisdom, an insight check.
Okay.
You can pinpoint exactly which one.
Is the ghoul a humanoid? Or is it a creature,
The
actually?
ghoul just counts as undead, I think.
14.
Because then I wouldn't be able to hold person him.
Because it's not a person. Or...
Because that would be hold monster.
I'm still going to go with it's humanoid enough for
Okay,
this to
yeah,
work.
fine. That's good for me. Not now, but
What's your insight check?
14.
14. The one seen from your point of view on the left is undead.
This guy?
And the type is ghoul. Yes.
This is a ghoul. Okay. And the other one, do
Is
I get
not.
the sense it's not undead?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm Duke Belt, goes the ghoul. Please, he captured me and he put some kind of illusion in my place. The city does not know. It must be saved.
Oh.
Kill him. And the other one goes, I'm actually Duke Alton. He captured me. I'm free now. And he starts to step away from him.
Okay. Well,
Everything is fine now that you are here.
While all this is going on,
I would like to attack, but I'll see
Okay,
what.
what
while,
does
while,
Ellen
while,
do?
while all this has happened or is happening, can I try and hide behind this bookcase?
you and your bookcases,
You and
man.
your
What do you want to do with the bookcase?
Well, no, I want to first basically hide to basically go into stealth,
Yes.
if that's allowed.
Roll a stealth check.
I would like to roll a stealth check, please.
Wow.
Well, that's still a 11.
11 is.
11 with a 4. I can't re-roll it or anything though. And regardless of whether that succeeded or not, I would like to climb along so I'm on top of this one up here.
You can do that.
Oh no,
You're
on a
not sure
bookcase.
whether
Oh,
you
no.
actually whether you actually fooled them.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's on a bookcase. Get out of the way.
It's a wardrobe technically, but
All right.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
wardrobe.
Well, I'd like to be the halfling on top of the wardrobe, please.
Again, yes. You
I-
are a halfling. You are on top of a wardrobe. Well done.
Yeah.
use halfling with wardrobe.
Okay. So I make it up there.
Okay, that's you, that's me. And did you do? I mean, I want to attack,
I
so I'll see.
held
Wait and see what
person.
she says. Yeah, you held person. Okay.
I just kind of gesture to my crowbar, and I'm just like, should I?
Well, I'm gonna tell you in a second.
Okay.
Once the DM allows it.
What do you want to do? You want to attack?
Yeah, and I very emphatically want to attack. Yes.
Yes. Let's go into initiative
Okay,
order
that's
then.
what I was waiting.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Because I know exactly.
So you can scratch me off the 20 plus tier?
No.
Really?
Yes. I will
know-
go in with a 7.
You know who goes up into the 20 plus tier?
The ghoul? Or the duke?
The Duke.
The Duke.
The Duke of Ghouls.
Yeah. Where are you?
7. Still.
7.
7. Yeah, that was not a joke,
That
actually.
was D4.
Me too, but I'm below him, I believe, because I have 8 dexterity. So
I have 16 dexterity.
there you
so-
go. I come after you then.
Alan.
19.
19. 19 is the initiative for the wardrobe halfling.
Yeah.
I think I will just manage to nod at you though,
Okay.
because I know
So-
that much.
Both of them have facial tattoos, correct? That's what you said.
Yes, both look exactly like Zara.
Okay, so I
They
would
both claim to be one of the dukes of Baldur.
recognize him basically immediately.
Yes, you recognize him immediately.
Okay, when I hold person while I'm concentrating before initiative order, can I shout something or should I do that in my turn?
You can shout something really quick
Okay,
if it's just one sentence.
that's Tsar, not a duke. That's all I want to say.
Well, so we know because we don't
Yes.
know Zara personally very well. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, someone has a very high initiative this round, and it's not you.
Oh dear.
Oh well.
And
Sometimes that's the way it is.
steps a few feet over here.
Aww.
No.
The
Obviously,
Alan special is not going to happen.
obviously, having realized that there's something very dangerous behind him,
That's true. It's not tight.
and looks at you and says, "I think you might be in the wrong place, little one." And there's a very weird reddish glint suddenly in the eyes of the
Duke.
Duke. And he casts fear, cause fear on
Oh
you.
dear.
You must succeed in a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Anything that protects me against that, some kind of reaction? Not at the moment, no.
I think something immune to disease, but
I am, yes. That is a 21 on wisdom saving throw, though.
Oh, you withstand the fear effect. You feel
Fear is kind of a
something
disease,
cold
but-
rushing up your spine, and all your hair and your nape and your and on your arm stands up. But then you breathe in deep and concentrate on your love for the light of Helm,
Oh, ooh.
She gets me.
and have control. Keep control of yourself, Alan.
Oh, and by the way, at the end of your ghoul's turn, you
can-
reattempt the save.
Yes.
I would like to draw my dagger,
Yes.
leap down from the wardrobe onto his shoulders, and try and stab him in the neck. Please.
He makes a quick, elegant gesture that you know very well from him, and there's a shield glimmering.
I mean, I haven't tried to attack yet.
Yeah,
so...
it's just his reaction.
Oh, okay.
He casts shield.
So what do I need to do?
You need to make an attack.
Oh,
Just his
okay.
AC went
All right.
up.
Natural 20.
Well,
Also, you could technically have tried the shield after you knew that, but
still.
I could have. He was very sure that this shield would save him from the deadly halfling. It didn't.
No one is safe from the wardrobe halfling.
Please
now
make a
crit
saving
with
throw.
your dagger.
Well, yeah, because
saving throw.
rapier.
Please make
damage
roll
on
damage.
So that's 2d4.
Yeah, 2d4.
Make a saving throw.
I could be
So
really
you don't
cheeky and
cut yourself on
use
your
my
knives.
psychic blade.
Yeah, do it. Why not?
I mean,
I'll do
it's
it.
the guy we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to
Have at him.
invoke my bardic inspiration to use psychic blades, which gives me another 2d6.
So
It's a crit,
46.
4d6. It's a bit cheeky, I think, but
You're a halfling. You.
I'm a halfling. I'm a
Ouch.
cheeky halfling.
This might be one of the shortest boss fights ever. Go ahead.
He's a mage, so yes.
6, 12, 15, 17 damage altogether.
Brought a
That
2 piercing, 15 psychic.
bloody hell.
Have at you!
That would one-shot me.
It doesn't one-shot Zar. Seems like he...
He's a
Doesn't have 8 constitution, yes. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And I like to imagine I'm kind of like on his shoulders, like
Stabbing
stabbing.
down. He suddenly has a halfling growing out of his shoulders and head. His eyes go wide.
Just wouldn't stop stabbing. It's like,
And we're just quickly going to change the miniature to the one I prepared for Zar once he realized which one is which.
Ah.
So nice.
Oh, cool.
And
ooh.
This is
his
still the cool.
illusion disappears and turns into a ghoulish undead creature.
Is he still held? Or did that? Yeah.
Since we didn't go for anything like I'm trying to hold him, oh, you mean the ghoul?
Held
Yeah.
person.
Right now, it's still
Yeah, okay.
It's still-
under the spell.
It's still.
It's very still.
It's very still. It's still.
Very good.
Zan,
Stab him! Stab him!
Okay.
The rage has descended. I need to take a level in barbarian.
I see.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything to continue the spell on him, so I will use my bonus action first to start my hum again. Because I can do that twice. And then I will scoot over to Zar and hit him in the face with my Moonblade.
go ahead.
His shield should still be active though, right? Because he did cast.
Oh, right, his shield is still active. And I know that
Just
because
because
I
I
know
hit him
that.
doesn't mean it didn't work. yeah.
Because I know that, which means I will actually run past all of you,
And stab the ghoul.
hit the ghoul with a magical moonblade with advantage because he's paralyzed. With a 23 to hit.
23 to hit. The ghoul.
Yes.
Yes, that's a hit. That's...
For 14 damage.
How much?
14.
14.
Yes. That is my maximum.
Nice.
Which is absolutely imbalanced.
am a duke of Baldur. But he's not entirely
Sure you are.
Not
entirely dead yet.
Yeah.
One of those undead dukes we've heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
This is nice.
Next one up is Gwyn.
Well.
Well.
Well. I think we all know what I'm going to do. That costs a spell slot, but it's not a spell technically. Yeah, so he said he was in the wrong room, right? I'm basically just gonna narrow my eyes, run at him. Oh, I think we're exactly in the right room. You cannot fool the Eye of Helm. And then
That's my girl!
I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him with bonus action. So I just point my finger at him, and I'm now going to deal extra damage to him.
Oh,
If you hit through a shield.
If
but
I
yeah.
hit through the shield, yes. And in order to hit him a bit better, I'm also going to channel divinity to basically turn my weapon sacred. So I raise my sword and it glows bright, becomes a magical weapon, the power of Helm, and then I'm gonna slash at him.
you have the feeling that there's somewhere far off is a choir of people singing holy hymns.
Yes! I live for this! Come on! So wait, that's plus my charisma modifier. That's not enough. Still, with all the bonuses, 17 to hit.
No.
Damn it.
Shield is nasty, isn't
Shield
it?
is really nasty, yeah. So I've got this. I've got this. Yeah, that's all I can do, I'm afraid. That was my channel of unity. But this lasts, so I can do that every round.
Yes?
Yeah,
Is that all?
that was what I could
That was
do.
all?
That was all, but it was pretty cool. I wish I did.
That's all,
It
folks.
looked really good.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Happens. The ghoul tries, struggles, can't hit you because it's still held, and then at the end of its turn, it repeats 14.
Yep, unfortunately, that cancels my spell, yeah.
Yes. It starts
no
moving
longer
again.
paralyzed.
I am you. But we can't attack
Yeah.
it
I
because
admire its conviction to the role.
Zan will probably go like, of course.
yes, you are. Daddy said so.
Creepy man.
Give me. I have to decide which spell I'm going to stick on
Oh,
you.
great.
Sorry, there's no remove halfling spell.
Well, there are a couple, to be fair.
Guess you could cast banish,
It's a
but
question of interpretation.
yeah.
Yeah, what's the meaning of remove in that case?
You could remove him from life.
From existence. Now, from shoulders would be the start. but-
Something from shoulder.
I'm going to go the really nasty one. One of my favorite necromancies. He spreads his hands and with blissful expression he spreads small embers of green light that suddenly glow very bright. There's a flash, and then there's a radiance, a greenish radiance emanating from him like a wave, crashing silently against the walls and back, and you feel something heavy settling in your bones. That's all he does. Alan, as
What does it do?
your turn starts, you must give me a Constitution saving throw.
I must. 11.
That's not a save. You would have
Okay.
needed a 14.
That's a shame.
That's where we go non-canonical, because Zan will completely die.
That's the remove halfling spell.
That's the remove everyone spell.
Remove everyone's spell.
See,
And no, we won't die.
How much hit points do you have left?
I haven't taken any damage. I've got 32.
32.
Oh dear.
That's lucky because you're taking 21 points of...
Yep, that's the remove Zan spell.
Oh dear.
21, you say?
Yes,
Crikey. That's a lot.
21 points of radiant damage, and you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
And you can suddenly see your own bones, every single bone in glowing through your flesh in a dim greenish light.
Boy.
Well, now that's interesting. That's very interesting.
How much wisdom have you got? Just to check.
Like score or
No.
modifier?
How is your wisdom saving throws looking?
My wisdom saving throw is +4.
Okay.
And your constitution saving throw?
-1.
Not good. Do you want to take your turn later?
Well, it's not my turn yet.
Yeah,
Right, because
No,
he can still.
yes, he can still do things.
Stab.
You can think about what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to stab with my... I think it's a bit awkward to stab him with a rapier while I'm on his shoulders, so I'll try it again with a dagger.
Yes,
It's like, arm not long enough.
you can slide down and then stab him.
Oh dear.
I could, but I like the fact that I'm still just kind of wrapped around his shoulders, so I'm just going to keep
Like a
stabbing.
stabby backpack.
Stabby backpack.
Yeah.
That's what they call
Sounds like a
them.
very impractical thing to have.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Psychic Blades again, if I hit.
That's. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Natural 20.
The
Okay.
second one.
Just saved our lives.
Right.
Do you
Mime.
still have some nice spells for extra damage left?
He already used that.
Oh,
Well, I'm using Psychic Blades, which is
it's
my
still
bardic-
active, yes.
Yes, you got it.
No, he just
No, I
used
just
it.
use it.
Yes,
Ah, okay,
use
I
up
didn't
his-
hear it. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Use up his sand roll.
Okay. 7 piercing damage. Not so well. Okay, and 8 psychic damage. So that's 15 altogether.
Still one shot Stan.
Blood runs down your No, you're up on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Blood runs down his robes, and you basically stab him again, and there's, it's starting to get a nice splashy
effect on the ceiling.
effect going on the ceiling.
Oh god.
Yes, but he's not entirely. He starts to slump. That was not. I did not plan for. What are you saying?
plans for Alan
No. This is. Well, Zan would be next. Do you want to?
I'm not sure you can. It's just-
You can. Well, I mean,
Yes, you
if my
can.
turn starts still if I delay, so
Yeah.
I need
but
to.
maybe if Gwyn goes first. Just.
I mean, if you as the
you can.
god of this
You can
let
go
it
ahead.
happen, I want to delay my turn after the very impressive Helmy Paladin.
Go ahead, very impressive Helmy Paladin. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, it's not even that hand wavy because we're the same initiative.
Yeah, we're kind of at the same.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Sorry.
10. Oh god.
Suddenly not
I
that
gave you
impressive.
inspiration after.
What do you mean 10?
Did you?
I think
Constitution
so.
saving.
Okay.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
We're
Sure,
attacking.
of course.
Do you want to repeat your Constitution saving throw, or do you want to keep your?
Inspiration.
Why would I? What? I have inspiration.
Yes.
Oh.
From last time.
Oh
Yeah.
right. So can I use the How does
You can-
inspiration
No,
work?
no.
You can
not
reroll.
bardic inspiration.
Oh,
normal
regular.
inspiration gives you advantage.
Yeah. I'll
This wasn't me.
He didn't say one of his one-liners that's made up of 2 words.
Right. It
Yeah.
was my one-liner that triggered it. It was the power of the
Yeah.
choir that she
Okay, yeah.
described. Okay, very well. I'll repeat it. Oh, that's better. 16?
That's actually 14 is the DC.
Good.
Okay,
So
so
far?
all you suffer is 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh dear.
Which
That's-
means disadvantages on ability checks,
Yeah.
correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not on attack rolls.
Not yet.
Very important.
Not yet.
No damage? No damage?
No.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Actually, if you make the saving throw, you don't take damage from the spell.
Well,
At least that's what it says on the card.
that's the problem. I have like smiting and stuff, but I have to hit first. So
Then hit.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and hit him because that's what I do.
Go
He's
ahead.
not shielding anymore, so.
He's not.
Well, he could as a reaction
You
Yeah,
still.
could go
yeah,
again,
because
but
he still has
the
his
last shield
reaction.
is gone.
Okay.
He doesn't shield against a natural 20,
No.
is what we know.
I think I'm renaming this to my lucky dagger.
Do so.
Alan, you got
Roll!
him. That's 18 plus 3. That's 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
Yes. Then I will use divine smite.
Go ahead.
Spell slot. So that's normal damage plus smite. Smite.
Smite. Smite. Smite.
Is he an undead?
No.
Sad.
Not yet.
And hang on, Hunter's Mark. Extra d6.
I'm not sure whether you need all that.
Paladins are the new rogues.
I really do.
Oh, yeah, you really do.
If you roll that bad, you do.
13. Oh, that's 16 damage altogether. Could have been better, but hey, there we are.
You are so lucky.
Am I?
Because he's at 16 HP?
Yes.
Yes!
He goes down with a very surprised look.
The glowing
There's
blade.
one last golden glow from the blade from inside his ribcage, and you can see through him basically, as if he were glass for a very short moment, and you can see his heart make one last beat and then stop. And he slowly glides down from your blade, and there's still a whisper of, "Daddy, I did not." And then it's over. The ghoul crumbles to the ground next to you.
Evil
heavily.
desecration, his spell ends.
Evil greenish glow. I'm going to house rule that this ends with the life of the caster. Well, this is the point where we are going to end the adventure, because this is a slightly abbreviated version of Heroes of Baldur's Gate. So at this point, we're also going to house rule that Sickening Radiance ends now and not in 10 minutes.
I would have made the save.
You would have made the save?
Yes.
Nice.
Because inspiration and advantage and things, but I would have made the save. So technically not dead. Maybe,
I read the card as you have to repeat it every turn.
Well, I could run out real fast, but okay.
You could, yes. You still are slightly glowing, greenish glow, but that's just the exhaustion you are still feeling, and it stops after 10 minutes or so. Well, Zor lies down dead, and you can have a look around. But
I mean, Alan definitely will.
But what you find really quickly on him is an amulet showing the symbol of the god Baal, the skull surrounded by drops of blood circling him. And all things that you've found point to the fact that he at least believed that he was also a Baal spawn.
Right.
Doubtful. Doubtful for me.
Doubtful for you. But
in the aftermath, I would say that perhaps I'll question Zan and Khalid a little bit more about the whole Baal spawn thing, seeing as they react.
And
so probably,
just
you
imagine, I'll question him a bit on the way out.
We find Khalid still very pale and slightly traumatized, but the hammering and banging from underneath the table has stopped, so you can leave. And when you leave out to the part where the nicely dressed, friendly people were, they also have stopped moving, and the illusion fell away. So they're clearly undead creatures that were just glamoured up to look like a family and to act like a family to a very disturbed person. And yeah, this is what I like to do after playing an adventure in an actual place, just to do a quick, how did you like it? What were points you did like? What were points that were slightly weird? And then also explain what we did to change the adventure for the actual play. So,
well, I liked it a lot.
you start off.
I
you,
start
Julia.
off. Paladin starts. I
Yes.
liked it a lot. I cannot say that I noticed where stuff was shortened out. So, not having read the adventure, it seemed like a round story. And I have to admit, I'm one of the people who hasn't actually played a great deal of Baldur's Gate, so I wasn't in the know with many of the things, but it didn't feel like I was missing out too much. So that was good, I guess. It didn't feel like, oh no, you need to know everything to appreciate the adventure. That's not the case. It was fun either way.
Yeah, you can also just become very, very suspicious of your companions when they know every single one of the bad guys.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
I think that's probably the one thing of the adventure that I'd say was a bit strange, but of course you can understand
It's
why.
kind of fun though.
As someone who was
yeah.
not part of the events of the game, it's like, hold on a minute, it does seem a bit strange that you all know each other.
That's quite funny, actually, yeah. And the whole, didn't we leave him in a mine kind of thing.
In this mine.
In this mine.
This one specifically.
No, that was pretty good.
Yes. Well, so you didn't mind.
Murder hobo.
I don't know what you mean.
You do like furniture.
I love the furniture. I like being able to use furniture in combat situations. I mean, it was good. It was definitely very varied. Like, obviously, the whole Vaconia thing had a connection with the Drow and the Druidic stuff. So there's a lot of variation, which I think has in some adventures, it's all kind of, it's about dwarves. So there's all these dwarves. But there's a lot of variation in sort of such a small space. So I like that. I liked running around in Baldur's Gate and also playing an original character as well, and kind of getting a kind of fresh look on the games, but not thinking as a gamer, but as actually someone in that world going, hold on a minute. It seems very suspicious, but whatever, okay.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it very much. And I hope Alan Crookwillow returns.
Alan Crookwillow will return.
Yes.
Yes, I really like also the original characters, and I like the pairing with the canonical
I
characters.
think we make a good team.
That was, actually, we do, surprisingly.
We should work together again, lass.
Yeah, would you take the gloomy mage?
Yeah, he's
with
alright,
you?
I guess.
Yeah, I suppose if
He's got a glowy sword as well.
I feel like if we're going
That
a
he
lot,
does.
if we played a few years later, maybe we would have to not use Khalid anymore. But let's not get into that.
Still too soon. It's been 20 years or something, but still too soon.
It's still too soon. Did you like all the nods and winks to the games?
Yeah, I did. I had a blast playing as one of my favorite characters, actually.
That is your
in the
favorite
series.
character?
One of
your favorite characters.
But especially for that type of Let's Play series. If I would run it in a home game where we have all the time in the world and then some, it's probably cool to have the exposure or nods to the game relegated to actual NPCs. But it was really nice to also have, as a player, be able to be like, hold on, I can drive the story forward. That was really cool. And the dungeons were amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And the nods to
helps.
the games were great. The banter we had was great.
Yeah.
I really liked it. So
party.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yes. The thing is, what I changed about the adventure is I shortened it and basically every place. I went about it, this is a very nice tree, let's make it a bonsai. And like all the dungeons would have been bigger. But for an actual play where you play also with real 3D dungeons, it usually helps a lot to just condense it down to the few rooms you really need for the story. But because usually a normal dungeon, as it is presented in an adventure, is meant to be taken with a lot of time, and then it's okay to have rooms in there that are just going maybe empty or just having slight hints to what's coming next and things like that. But I usually just condense them down and change them a bit. And the oak stump would actually have been an oak tree, but I was not able to build one. So
That really worked, though.
Yeah, it did.
off with its head, off with the crown of the tree. And I left one of the big bads out. So there would have been one more. There would have been kind of like the last surprise one. When you come back to Baldur's Gate, there's one who's just going to drop the mask and say, ha ha, I was here all this time.
Actual Baldspawn or something?
No,
Okay.
not a Baldspawn, someone else.
Maybe that's something we can leave for people to read in the adventure.
I'm also not going to give spoilers whether Zar actually would have been a Baldspawn or not, but he certainly had the ambition. What I can say is that also the connections between the different end bosses or dungeons, they are a lot more loose, and you can do in a lot of different ways. You can go there first and then find something at Zar's place that leads you to Viconia and vice versa. Things like that. And also there would have been, if you travel, you can just run into a pack of wolves and things like that.
Classic Baldur's Gate.
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't do that, and I thought that having Zar as the last boss of the game would be the most interesting one, because I like his dungeon where he tries to reenact a normal life with undead people that he just glamours up for fun, and having undead jesters stuck
Definitely
in
not creepy and scarred
chests.
for life.
No.
Yes, so anything that was shortened and strange and maybe dumbed down a bit, that's all my doing. The adventure is actually more complex and there's more fluff and more stuff in there. But if you want to know about that, you should read it. It's really good. Thank you very much for playing. Thank you very much for watching. And now we are going into a part where I'm going to talk again live to you, hopefully. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Timing. So yes, we started this right at the moment Eric decided to take the last sip of his tea. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So let us
It's
know
not even
if,
the last one.
let us know if everything works out for you on the sound side of things. This should be fine. Okay, so we just did our past selves just did a little bit of an after show talk, but this is the real thing. This is the complete thing, and I had hoped, kind of like, you know, sometimes I'm naive that we're going to have everyone in the studio for this, but people are living quite a bit away from each other, and B, we're moving places right now, so the studio by now is halfway packed away into boxes, so not, yeah, let's do it like this. This is fine. Yeah, so your past selves said they like this whole thing, and I'm not going to doubt that. I tend to doubt that people actually have fun when we're playing, but I'm just going to go with you're probably honest about this, which makes me very happy, because to be honest, I was very nervous when we started this whole thing, because it was very, very we changed a lot of things around, and then there's the point where, apart from Max, boo Max, you're you're out for the next question.
Okay.
We're not native speakers. So, what was it like for you playing in front of the camera in English?
I mean, I could answer this question, to be fair.
You could.
But I'll go last.
What was it like for you as non-native speakers to do role-playing in front of the camera in English? One of you could go.
Well, Julia, just start.
I have to say, not that unusual in terms of the playing, seeing as we have an English role-playing round here as well, because of him, because he DMs it. So I've had the benefit of a little bit of practice, as has like Mháire, basically. But no, it was great fun in front of the camera, because I think you talk a bit differently. It's it's just a different way of talking, I find. It's a different fantasy speak, you know what I mean? Like there's fantasy German and fantasy English.
That's true, yeah.
That makes sense.
The vocabulary
yes,
tends
vocabulary
to change a bit, yes. Although I've been told that even in real life, if you speak English, you curse like a Victorian lady. So probably not that much away from
lies and slander
from your real personality. Okay, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the thing where you're supposed to be on the official D&D channel, which is kind of scary. But as most or all role-playing media, or close to all role-playing media I actually watch or listen to is English, it was kind of nice, actually, to just kind of fall back to your fantasy speak that you know better, because I actually know it better than fantasy German.
And did you play the Baldur's Gate games in English?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I played the first one in German and English, but the second one only in English.
Because that was the point, among other things, for me. Because I played them in German, because I was a teenager at the time. And then, in preparation for these sessions, I started to there's YouTube videos and stuff like best voice lines from, and just to try and get the voices somehow stuck and stuffed into my head. So yeah. And I still have this thing, although I've been role playing in English for quite some time, and also doing the live sessions on the How to Be a Great GM shows for this channel here. This game mastering is something different, that you have to actually describe things more in detail, more in depth, and then there's always the moment where I get stuck. And then every room is nicely furnished, because my brain only has this one phrase that it just hands me. Here you go, say this.
To be fair, that happens to people whose native language is English as well. You just use the same phrase for things when you're DMing stuff. everyone has their go-tos
Yeah.
when they describe something. So
Oh yeah,
that's a good
that's
thing.
true. But the thing is, I try to avoid that in German, and sometimes it actually works because my vocabulary is a bit bigger, maybe. But yeah, in the end, I'm okay with how this turned out. And also, what I really found funny and sweet was that people told me that actually the accents didn't take away from the whole thing, but it added something, and that is hard to imagine as a non-native speaker, that actually people having some kind of strange accent, maybe even some accent that you can't really place, is actually nice for a fantasy world. Do you feel the same, Max, that sometimes this is
I mean,
bonus?
well, personally, no. I will say, because obviously the role-playing scene, especially D&D, is dominated so much by people who speak American English, that there is this kind of way of doing fantasy speak in American English which sounds kind of funny to us, whereas in my experience in role-playing with British people, we just kind of speak normally. So it's not so for us, it's just kind of normal. And then you see someone, obviously not all Americans do this, but I've had the pleasure of being in a game with someone who actually basically reverted to some kind of Shakespearean English when interacting with the local peasantry. And it was just like, what is going on? But it was great. I loved it. But yeah, I can understand why people think that, because I think American accents are obviously, people associate them obviously with modern films and movies and stuff. And so as long as it doesn't sound American and modern to perhaps those people, then it kind of feels more authentic. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, there's a reason why everyone in Lord of the Rings has a British accent.
Even the people who are not Brits.
Yeah. Even the Kiwis.
Yeah, that's true. And the Aussies. Yeah, and you were doing your own accent, being English.
Yeah.
You went for an Irish accent.
I did.
And that is always something that surprises me, because that's highly different from the German scene, that English-speaking role players just love to use accents, regional accents. I mean, every second dwarf, or maybe three quarters of all dwarven kind, are Scottish.
Yeah. I mean, it's partly, again, with systems like D&D, it's partly because there is, again, because of what people know, they will assume a certain kind of accent for a certain kind of race. So dwarves are Scottish, halflings are either West Country or Irish, that kind of thing. So a lot of people do that anyway. But I think as a player, it really helps distinguish for when you're talking in and out of character. And it kind of helps you get into character a bit more if you're not just obviously it's personal preference, but it helps you get into character if you're like, oh yeah, so now I'm speaking as my character and now I'm speaking as a player. It kind of helps do that a bit. But also, if you can do accents, there's a lot of interesting English-speaking accents to do. So yeah, it's also just a matter of fun.
But it's true. I haven't seen that.
For the Irish one?
So why did I go for the Irish one?
Yeah.
Well, I just felt right. It's hard to put into words. It just it's one I can do fairly well, and it's one that I've used before in role playing and stuff, and it just kind of felt like it really fitted the character. This kind of fast talking kind of guy. I don't know. Also, the original inspiration for Alan Crookwillow was a picture of Aidan Turner where he's got his hair done in like a kind of 30s style. And I was like, and it kind of inspired the idea of the character. Like, it looks like that. And because Aidan Turner's Irish, that kind of felt fitting. So, yeah.
Okay. The accent thing, and I need to talk about this really quick because Nico mentioned it just mentioned it in chat, and yes, it's a very interesting thing because Baldur's Gate, the PC games, did the same. They have in the English version, they do have different regional accents because it's cool, because it fits for fantasy world if you're an English speaker. And for some reason, they decided to do the same in German, but let me assure you, international viewers, German accents are not cool.
and that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm lucky enough to also have an English or bilingual speaking group now that IDM. And German accents, if you do them in a role-playing setting or no matter what setting, they always come off as comical. There's
Yeah.
no accent you can do to be epic or I don't know, like sinister or anything. They always come off as extremely comical. And at least for the people I play with, it's not the same in English. So that's kind of nice to use not just different inflections or something, but actual accents. I'm not good at them, so I won't do them here. But for 7 people, it's enough.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with the German accent is, I guess, it would be interesting to know. I often ask Max, like, "Oh, did you notice that person had an accent in German?" And he's just like, and I'm only at the point in English where I just about recognize the differences, but it's really hard to pinpoint for a non-native speaker exactly where someone's from, like really exactly, and really get it. And sometimes it doesn't even sound like the person has an accent, and an English speaker will just be like, "Yeah, this person is from Wales, duh," Yeah, and in German it's really hard to not think about the regional cliches, and a lot of them are just really funny and a bit dumb, and unfortunately not very well suited for epicness.
No, they're not epic. That's
No,
really...
not at all. No.
Nico mentions the Werner Herzog one. For some reason, that guy just kind of now has taken over playing characters on science fiction things. Yeah, let's go. Maybe there's going to be the new German accent internationally.
Yeah.
Considering and concerning tone, I don't know whether the German accents could have made this more ridiculous in some places. Are you fine with this kind of mishmash of tonality that we had? Because there is some, I hope there was some epicness, and there's bloody stuff, and there's a bit of darker stuff and weird stuff, but in the end everything ends with people giggling and shoving around tiny miniatures trying to make them stick to something.
That's great.
You really didn't like that, did you?
I do that again.
A challenge.
Well, I mean, for me personally, I think generally in role-playing rounds, you will always make jokes. It doesn't matter what you're playing, doesn't matter how serious it is. There will always be someone who will quote Monty Python. There will always be people making jokes. You just can't avoid it. So I think rather than, and obviously if you're a DM and you're like, oh, I want them to take my story seriously, but you also want them to have fun. So I don't think it's a problem. I think comedy balanced with serious role-playing is a wonderful thing. Something that stuck out for me in this was when we basically were confronting Viconia over her actions and her prejudices, because I felt really annoyed at her as well.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't really in the mood to make jokes at that point. That kind of felt like a bit of serious role-playing. She's crying about all of her dead monsters, and we're going, yes, but you've been sending them off to kill children, or innocent people in Baldur's Gate. So that was one of them as well. And obviously epic moments when you roll that natural 20, and again twice, one after the other,
with a dagger,
which I still can't quite believe.
The deadly halfling stabby backpack.
Yeah.
And I'm also very thankful to use players that's what happened, and that you can switch back and forth from doing the jokes and to being a little bit more lighthearted about the whole thing, and then concentrate on a scene and actually kind of take it seriously. You're lucky if you GM with players who actually go along with what happens. But I'm keeping an eye on you, Julia. You tend to break my riddles and stuff.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Cheating using magic.
I was cheating by using magic. Yeah, I think I'm probably one of those players who tends to laugh a lot and tends to take the time to make jokes about almost everything, and I feel a bit bad about that, because I'm afraid, oh no, I don't want to break the mood, and I don't want to take serious role playing, but it's I hope that wasn't too I hope that didn't break the tone of your riddles or your or of the story. But I did have a lot of fun, and so
The more fun you have, the more you
the
get.
more fun, the more you get sort of enthused and into it. And I did enjoy the challenges and the riddles and things. And that's one of the things I like most, is trying to solve the challenges by using what your character brings to the table creatively, I guess. And it's one of the most epic things, I think, when that succeeds. So whether that's a natural 20 on a dagger attack, or or if you manage to crack a riddle, or if you manage to use a skill really creatively, like the heat battle on the dwarf thing.
Oh yeah,
that worked
that was
really
fun.
well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or the table in the hole.
The table in the hole.
Things like that,
Yeah.
I feel. Sorry. I just feel regarding comedy, we should give an honourable mention to Nico, who is not in front of the camera right now, for some of his excellent jokes that just completely made me lose it.
Including his excellent faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
his reaction faces are GIF worthy.
his poor Khalid. That is...
Yeah, I mean, I usually at the table I play the resident gloomy person, which is part of the reason why I picked Zan in the first place. But I find that the shorter sessions usually err more on the side of comedy and fun, which is totally fine. I mean, I did have fun. That's
you did
to say
have
I
fun.
didn't.
Yeah,
And,
it sounds very convincing the way you say it.
Yeah, I did. See, smiling, all of this.
Yes. There was a smile in the end, and we were all very surprised.
Apparently you were. Ted was as well. And well, I enjoy the character interaction. So my favorite scenes were probably the horse message and the part with Imwen and not the bar brawl in the Elf Song Tavern. Because that was I found that was really, really good. So I can do both comedy and very serious tonality in games.
Well,
there's a question: why do Germans speak English? Yeah, that's a good question. Generally, we speak English because we do learn it. it's like it's obligatory. You can't finish school in Germany without learning English. Why we're talking in English right now, and for the show, the reason is that this is and was for the official Dungeons and Dragons Twitch channel, which you're watching right now. And let's look a little bit at the backstory, how this thing came to be, because it started off with the fact that I was one of the players chosen for the How to Be a Great GM. Season 1, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Call of the Kraken, and then Season 2. And there I got the contact to people at Wizards of the Coast who kind of handled the shows on this channel and everything. And I asked them whether they would be interested in something that we produce. Because in Germany, we've done quite a lot of role-playing, actual play stuff and things like that. Orkenspalter TV, the channel we're from, is the biggest YouTube channel and Twitch stuff that is specializing in tabletop role-playing in Germany. And they were interested in maybe doing something in German, but then decided that they'd rather have something in English first and to see how it plays with audiences. Yeah, so the question is, maybe we're going to do more in English in the future, or we're going to do something in German and see whether there's a German audience for this on the Twitch channel. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. We're going to have talks with the people at Wizards of the Coast.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe the people you're seeing on screen right now will be in German shows or in English shows. I think it would be fair to go back to German and now have Max again role playing in German.
It's okay. I mean, I have role played in German on your channel plenty of times.
Quite, yes.
That is true.
The more recent videos, my German is better, of course. But yeah, no, I'd be up for it.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
we're going to see what's going to happen. And as for the production of this, everything was I don't want to say rushed, but it was on a very strict timetable, because when we realized that we were going to do this, then we needed to find the dates and times where everyone would be available, because the people you see, Eric lives 20 minutes from us. Or from the studio, which is very, very nice, comes in handy. But Julia and Max, they need to travel 2 hours just to get here and back again. So that's not that easy to get everyone here, because usually this is not just people talking to each other in video chat and putting it up on a screen, but actually sitting at the same physical table, playing with physical miniatures and dungeons and stuff. So it's not easy. And then we were also doing lots of other shows, and not just for the D&D Twitch channel. So, as I've mentioned a few times, on the same day that we did the final 2 sessions of Heroes of Baldur's Gate, we also did, I think, 4 or 5 sessions of our long-running Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
Yeah.
It was an epic day. Julia cried.
Not only
it was an epic finale, yeah. It was also, we were in the... How long were we in the studio that day? 10 hours. 10 hours of filming.
Hours. Around 12 hours.
It was 12 hours in total, but with potty breaks and stuffing our faces with food.
We tried to make the most of us making it to the studio and back, and it was crazy.
That was a long day, and so everything. It was always like many of the dungeons came together in the last second, still painting miniatures minutes before we actually had to use them. So please wait a second, they need to be dry before I put them on the table, kind of things. Yeah. So this is what we produce on very short notice, and I really love with you guys and with Wizards of the Coast to put something together where we actually can really prepare for everything, and then I maybe actually be able to do the whole tree dungeon and not cut it off after 1/3 of its size. Yeah. So would you do this again?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It was fun. It was, of course, fantastic that we could sit at the same table together. But even if we'd have to do it via video, I think that would also be possible. And yeah, I would love to have another session with you, definitely.
Also, it's just really cool being on the D&D Twitch channel.
Yes, it is.
We've watched people who've been on here before, and us being on the same platform as them, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, I see it more like we may be living in the same town, but this is a different suburb, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But thanks a lot for the opportunity. That was really cool.
It's wonderful. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
Really playing and being in the chat and stuff.
Yeah.
It was great fun.
It was really fun watching it all again, actually.
Yeah. You got really into it, like in the finale as well, and we know what happens. It shows how good it is.
Yeah, but it was still that's actually true for me too. And I'm usually someone, I'm very critical of what we do and what I do, and rewatching videos that we've done sometimes for me is hard, but this time around I actually enjoyed watching them again in the final version. Of course, there were a few little bit nips, tucks, and cuts. Because at some points you drop stuff under the table and then you have to rummage around, or you forgot something and you have to get back up again. And that's all the stuff we cut out, and me setting up dungeons because no one wants to watch me digging through boxes of stuff and finding the right thing to clip together on the table. So, and also the intro. The intro is just awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Also rewatching it now with production done, like Nico did a really great job with this. Yeah. Like the music, the UI, the cuts, it's just great. It was great.
I especially liked the moments he chose to zoom in on certain people as well.
Yeah.
There was a good one in this episode.
Yeah. And the interface is really cool, of course.
Yeah.
That was very, very nice from the people of Beamdog who allowed us to use that, because it just adds so much to the feel of the show that you can actually have this like fake isometric view into the dungeon with the UI from Baldur's Gate and the music. That helps a lot to set the tone of everything that's happening. Yeah, so talking about playing around a physical table or playing online, as much as I like playing online and as much as there are now really nice tools to work with that, I think that Alan Crookwiller would miss his furniture.
You would. I mean, playing with a physical map in front of you, especially a 3D one, really can just give you ideas, especially if you're looking to do different things rather than going, I walk up and I attack the monster, which is fine. But if you're like me and you generally like to mess around a bit, then or do stuff that's different, then that really helped kind of inspire me come up with those ideas. It really adds to the kind of creative aspect of stuff to do in combat.
And also then you have like coincidences that I hadn't planned with, but that worked out perfectly, like the round table fitting exactly in the hole that they've dug down and stuff like that. Yeah, and also the huge entertainment value of the steep parts of the tree dungeon. Where people kept sticking the mages to them. Things I absolutely hadn't planned for, but that were surprisingly lots of fun.
It's always the case. Whenever you plan for anything, there will always be something, be it in the story or the physical things you have, that will completely add a new dimension to it that you couldn't foresee.
Which is kind of the fun in role-playing, isn't it?
Exactly. That's why we play role-playing games and not just video games these days.
Whoops, accidentally set everything on fire.
Burn the whole dungeon, which is what Alan Crookwiller said we should do in the first place. So I think it all worked out.
Yeah, probably. And as you already mentioned, Viconia crying over her dead creatures.
Yeah.
Yes, they were sentient. No, they weren't nice. And also, I really like the physical dungeon stuff, and that's a change that came gradually over the years, because I used to be some time ago someone who says, it's all the theatre of the mind. You don't need the miniatures and everything. You just describe the action. But then on one thing, you have the inspiration of, if you actually see what the place is set up, you start climbing around the furniture and using the stuff that's lying around. And also, it's like a puppet house. It's the toy thing about this is also great fun for me, and building the stuff. Although sometimes, my fingers are all completely healed now, but I had one really, really ugly burn wound after working on some of the stuff. So always be very careful when working with hot glue and anything similar. And now we have a few more dungeons that we might recycle for other stuff for shows. So especially the tree dungeon, I was afraid it would break, but the thing turned out to be indestructible. You can drop it, you can shake it, and it just holds.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tree dungeon will return.
Yeah, then maybe we're going to see that again in some other place and in some other shows.
I would also say
every game to try and get a tree in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I would say that it's true, though, what you said. Like, you don't need miniatures or a 3D dungeon map, but it certainly helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And but
sitting at the table, sitting at the table, your dungeon maps are impressive.
Yeah.
Really impressive. I don't know if the camera captured it that well, but they are.
Yeah.
I think
That tree bit was massive. That was, I also have
It was.
Yeah. And that's basically it. That's kind of how this came to be, and the style that we kind of settled on, and also the thing with can I climb on this and can I use that, and that is something that I always say, and that I always be absolutely behind, that you should always, with your players as a GM, go yes. If someone asks, can I do this weird thing or this stupid thing, always go yes, but, or yes, and well, people don't have to live with the consequences, like accidentally burning down half the forest. It happens.
Accidentally.
Hey.
I really think it was an accident on Gwyn's part. I'm not sure whether Alan might not have kind of influenced people to make it happen, but Gwyn's definitely, she hadn't planned this.
But genuinely, I don't think he did.
I mean, it was the will of Helm, clearly.
Clearly, yeah.
Well, Gwyn
gonna argue
didn't
with Helm?
plan to do this, but did Julia?
Oh, yes. Well, good. This is, well, we're going to end the whole session here now, and what's left for me to do is to say thanks, of course, most of you to you guys. Thanks for spending your time and your energy and everything on this, and being in chat every time the session was on, and being supportive. Yeah, it was real fun to do this, and to then see what the final outcome was after Nico added all the nice flourishes and intros and UIs and everything to it. And that's also kind of the bonus when you have the show pre-taped, but we're also going to work on stuff that it's going to look just as nice if you do it live. So that just needs more preparation time instead of post-production time, basically. And also, of course, thanks to the people at Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast. Thanks to our mods. DC Lazer is our mod today again. Thanks to Nico, who's not on screen but in the chat. Thanks to the people at Arcanum Worlds who wrote this thing. I still recommend that you take a look at the whole book, because it's not just a good adventure with some nice ideas how to adapt it to different timelines and to different settings, but also the art is beautiful, and it's one of the most beautiful books I've seen in years. And just you've seen some of the illustrations and some of the character art is just outstanding. Thanks to everyone at Beamdog. Thanks to the composer who did the version of the Baldur's Gate theme that we used. It was a whirlwind putting this together, but I'm very happy with the outcome and what happened in the end with all of this. And let's see what the future brings, what new shows we might do, if they're going to be live, if they're going to be pre-recorded, if they're going to be a mixture of both, just as we did today. And now I'm going to say goodbye and stop the show and hand this over to the community. So everyone who's to the west of us, have a nice rest of the day, and to everyone who's to the east of us and in Europe, have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's wave, guys, and say goodbye.
Let's wave.
Thank you. Bye.